Well, good evening. I'm your host, Robert Wilson with Cowboy Wisdom Hypno Acuity. Tonight we're talking about the 7 ways why I rose out of my snapshots. Snapshots are the when you meet somebody for the first time and you take that instant, I don't know, the emotions, the feelings, whatever, but you take that snapshot of that person, and that is the way you stay with that person. That's what that person stays inside your frozen in time representations. And especially if when you're hiring into some place and you walk in the room, that first meeting in the first 2 to 3 seconds, that snapshot, it's really your subconscious mind is what you think and feel about that person is the way you stay. And how many times, because I know I've hired into jobs, and whatever that foreman or boss first impression of me is, that's the way it stays. And you can never rise out of that unless it over time. And the reason is because once you take that snapshot, your viewpoints, opinions, beliefs, everything you always done, your insecurities, immaturity, and your stubborn hardheadedness are all involved. And that's something I really opened up to understand. That snapshot has been with me with a lot of people. And is that snapshot right? It's 50-50. But when you got somebody that you want to hold off to the side and you want to keep them the same, that snapshot is what you're living by. And how do you use that snapshot when you first meet people and you have that first opinion of somebody and they can never ever rise out of that? They can never rise out of that opinion, viewpoint, or belief. See, that's the thing we have to, that's just something in personal growth, but in sovereign expansion or sovereign liberation, you open up to understand everybody comes in to your life and you take that snapshot and that's where they stay, especially on a job site. If you're a foreman or a boss, that snapshot you take of that worker, good, bad, or indifferent, that's what that worker has to uh, stay with, because that's where that you are in your subconscious mind with them. But that is kind of the way it is. And like when you're walking up to a project or doing something, when you first walk up and you take that snapshot and say, oh God, this is going to be hard, or this is going to suck, or this is going to be good or bad. That snapshot is what you live with. So it's not about getting rid of the snapshot. It's about understanding and how you feel about the snapshot. Because snapshots are what control your life. No, and it's just a first impression of the mind is what it is. I just call them snapshots because that's the picture you take of the situation. And whatever you're trying to rise out of in your life or get rid of or change, whatever, how are the snapshots of your life controlling your life? That's something I had to open up to myself. And the more stubborn and hard-headed I am, the snapshots get a little more ingrained. And snapshots also have my complainers drain in them, and then I just do the little out of the everywhere thing. But it's really about opening up to understand them snapshots control your life. And then when them snapshots are controlling your life, that little inner dialogue you have up there, that's going right at that tap about whatever that is. And that little inner dialogue is the one is really the con artist. Mine's a con artist. He'll con me into things, out of things, and unless I'm paying really close, listening close, then I can tell him no and shut the F up. Or her, whatever it is. But it's a thing. It's them inner snapshots. And see, we try to do it through a thinking memory mind. Well, them snapshots in your thinking memory mind bind you into yesterday. So are you really open and willing to let go and rise on to being listening in the moment? So you can listen and question in the moment, but you're thinking no from yesterday and you're stuck in the past. That is something I'm really, really opened up to and understand myself. And see that the word understand over the word no allows you to flow. No, thinking no, block the flow. Understand I'm grand, I expand. See, I'll say that again. I understand I'm grand, I expand. And expand over change allows you to have the freedom and the fluidity of expansion and rising out of it. Something I've done, and just because I've done it don't mean, it's the way I expanded my life. But when you rise out of the pain of change and understand, expand is grand, you galvanize rebellious, adventurous nerve, donning your spiritual sprees of your pioneering prowess to rise. And when you stop living by them snapshots, because them snapshots are an imprisoning image of a situation. That's something I'm starting to pay attention to or monitor or whatever, is how I view people in the world. If somebody's walking up, let's just say they look like they're having a rough time in life. And you know how I used to, oh my God, look at that guy and look at the girl. Oh my God, what have they done? And the real deal with that snapshot, it's all BS because I have no clue. But however, if you get in a conversation with them, you might find out their car broke down or something. People are having some unsteady, unsavory things in their life right now. And so it's not up to me. What's up to me is to express wisdom, liberation, inspiration to the world, because you never know a word or whatever is going to expand and rise somebody. But the college educated and the third world business mindset is too egotistical, arrogant to move the world forward. And actually, if you really start understanding, we live the limitations of education. Yeah, it's good in a box, but it's not good in the universal airwaves of innovative wizardry. And that's where I really am opening up to. I want to listen to understand people rather than think I know. You think you know bestows you into burping BS. See, the more you know, the less you go. The more you understand, the more you're grand. And then you're on the go. It's being in the flow of the go rather than being bestowed in what you know. That's something I'm really opening up to. I got a long ways to go on this, but the more I think and know, the less I go. And that's that snapshot. Because think and know is a snapshot of something you learned in a book. Understand and listening, intuition, imagination is a flow, and you never can attach yourself to 1 second or one moment. You got to be on the river of revelations, floating to the oceans of omnificence. Omnificence is the most powerful creation there is in the world. But that snapshot, I'll tell you, I got more. Let's just be honest. That got me in more BS than anything else because, you take that snapshot and somebody says something like, you have something else in mind. You're going to go do something and have fun. And then somebody comes up and says, well, I want you to do this, and it's pertaining to work. And I had an instantaneous snapshot of flying off the handle. It's nice not having that no more, but I'd get mad because I had other plans. And all they were doing is asking me to do something. And see, it was a snapshot from my childhood that come forward. And I really understand there's a lot of snapshots from my childhood that are still controlling my life today. But however, I become the Sherlock Holmes. When something out here is pressing me, I start investigating. And then I get my Harry Houdini, and he unlocks the closet of control. And then I investigate, question. A lot of times, get quiet and just listen. And the thing about anything going on like this, you don't have to do it that day. You can say, okay, what's leaving? What's entering my life? Because there's mornings I wake up and I'm still inspirational, but I got that little gunk in there that's kind of, it's stopping the flow, and it's just it's not frustration, but it's just, something isn't flowing right. So the first questions out of my mouth is, what's leaving and what's entering? So, and then I give myself permission to communicate in a way. Then I give myself permission to communicate the fresh foresight or the fresh wisdom into my life with ease. It's about communicating with yourself and communicating things away. It's easy to say I let go and I do this, but what I discovered is I communicate away the dismay to communicate in my winning ways. But to communicate, and that's something Cowboy Wisdom Hypnoacuity is about communication. Communicating with yourself and your daily life. If you listen and communicate with your daily events, encounters, you're going to discover you rise out of the past to enjoy today, but you're listening for the chauffeur to be chauffeured to your path of enlightenment. You're going to listen your way to prosperity. Everything you desire in life, you're going to listen and question with a genuine kind inside yourself. You be genuine kind to yourself, you're genuine kind to the world. And what genuine kind is actually probably the veracity and the vitality to rise out of everything. And something else I've opened up to is the veracity. It's never lie to me, so I never lie to the world. And this is something I understand. Whenever I told a lie, the lie never died. And when the truth come out of the lie, it was the worst time in my life. I had to face and embrace whatever it is. And something else that I've encountered this a couple of times. When you treat somebody bad or say bad things, and when you're having an unsavory moment, the hand you reach for is to somebody that you've been unkind to. But if you open up to understand, it's your snapshots of life that keep you in the same patterns, because once that snapshot clicks, you fall into the pattern of that snapshot. And something I've endured in my life, and I've witnessed it from other people, and once that snapshot is embedded, you never really understand it, but you understand when something happens, it controls you right there. So it's about being able to listen and let go of things and understand. If you have somebody, let's just say somebody enters your life and you really have an instant reaction to that person, where did that snapshot begin? Because it wasn't with that person, but it's somebody where in your life. But he's activating that snapshot in present moment. When you can open up to question your present moment events and encounters, experiences, and appreciate out of everywhere there's, you can rise out of things. And that's something else. I give myself permission to rise out of everything in my life to enjoy my life, because shift and change and transformation all go sideways. Rise, you're going up and you're leaving it behind to unwind your divine daredevilry to set yourself free. How's that feel? Unwind my divine daredevilry to set myself free from me. And that's something, it's a simple saying I have. I laugh at me, I'm free to liberate me from me. All the stuff you're trying to go through out there, you're blaming a person out here, you're blaming this. It's really a subconscious representation within yourself. And that is where you liberate you from you. And you just pretty much appreciate yourself and let the outside world go, because once that event's over, it's all a subconscious representation within you. And once you take the power away from the person, if you rise of appreciation over forgiveness, forgiveness keeps the many movies going in your life. But appreciation rises you up to give yourself the value and the wisdom, insight, and clarity of the situation. And you can dissolve that other person by communicating that situation out of your life. If you really want to rise out of something, go out in the middle of nowhere and you got somebody you want to really, really tell off, just go out in the middle of nowhere and say everything you want to them and act like they're standing right there. You can just say it and then just say everything you want to say and, and, and just keep it going until there's nothing more to come out. And then when you're all said and done, just say thank you and walk away. Never let go and communicate away anything in your house or where you live. Go to a park or someplace, communicate it away there. That way you can walk away. And that's something you really want to open up to. You always want to say thank you and just walk away. But you want to make sure you addressed it and took care of all your apprehensive inklings inside yourself. That way you liberate you from you. And that's why we're the snapshot in your life. And, as this comes up, you will be able to not react, but communicate with it. See, that's the thing. We've been talking reaction and response, but I just communicate in the moment. How does that feel when you say, I communicate in the moment with my events, encounters, experiences, and people? And I encompass the audacity to communicate with anybody and everybody because I am wise and energized with intuitive listening to speak my desires to them. If you want to speak you want to speak through your dreams to them. And how do you want the outcome to be? You start speaking that outcome to them. If they get mad and throw a fit, well, they're going to have to get happy in the same pants they got mad in. I've had to do that. Something I've discovered over the last 2 years, getting mad never did me any good. But it also served a purpose and showed me where I had blockages, barriers, and limitations within me. That's all anger is a blockage and limitations inside yourself because you're afraid to rise above your current situation or into that deal, and you feel the lack of wisdom to communicate with that person. So when you rise out of the snapshots, you're going to give yourself permission to communicate. And then you're going to have a nice, mischievous smile within yourself so you feel liberated. And that's something I really want to express here too. Liberation or liberate over heal and appreciation over forgiveness. That shuts down them little mini movies within you. Because when you're trying to change or forgive somebody, that movie and all the emotions and the images of that event are still going on in your subconscious frozen in time representations. But if you give yourself permission to rise and you really start opening up to communicate it away, and you start talking about and questioning that situation, pretty soon you discover what is the wisdom in the situation. And whenever you get into one of them situations, always ask, why am I apprehensive? Where is the wisdom? Why am I apprehensive about this situation? And what is the path forward and onward for everybody involved? There's always a path forward. There's a path of enlightenment to stroll you out onto your beaches of just beautifulness. Because you encompass the talents to do anything. And that's something that Cowboy Wisdom Hypno Acuity and I promote. Every person in this world is so talented, but it is not in the size of socialized boxes of thinking and knowing. It's in their intuition, imagination, innovation, and their sleek, unique talents that they encompass. And it may be just like writing a book. It may be a gadget, but everybody encompasses something. Some kind of unique, innovative or an inventor's wit to move themselves forward. People The only way this world is going to rise out of this current situation is people trusting their own abilities and energizing their abilities and questioning their dream, questioning themselves to experience their dreams. See, a dream ain't something isn't something that's outrageous. A dream is your natural abilities, your subconscious and your superconscious really speaking to you. So when you have a dream, that's your intuition, and that's your I call it the superliminal spirit speaking to me. And the thing, and you guys encompass this, but we got to get out of the snapshots of education and business, because education and business has this world as far sideways as it's going to go. People are the assets of the world, the people and their talents. You know, it's like this: every business and the CEO brag how successful. A business would never be successful without the wisdom, insight, and clarity of the production workers. And see, we're not production workers. We're just hourly entrepreneurs. And I'm an hourly worker as a 36-year union electrician. You know what? As of now, at first I was kind of wondering about it. Now I'm proud to be. And everybody that's a hourly entrepreneur, pat yourself on the back, because you're the ones that make the world go around. But it's the snapshots that we embedded in ourselves. And when you come up against something and you don't like it, why am I apprehensive? What's the snapshot? Where's the wisdom? Where's my pathway away from this? Where inside me is this holding me back? It's about questioning yourself to the present moment. That's where hypnotherapy does really do good in that. But I want people to understand you got the talents to do everything you desire. And it's people that's going to make this world go. You are the people that are going to be the entertainers of wealth and success for other people. And I want to thank you. I am Robert A. Wilson with Cowboy Wisdom Hypno Acuity. My website is mycowboywisdom.com. My email is robert@mycowboywisdom.com. And I have free downloads on my website. And I got one is 7 ways why today's the best day of my life. When you can start out with three entertaining words. Mine is I am sovereign and audacious today. You can say I'm enough, whatever, but you start your morning first thing out of your life with 3 inspirational words, and then write down why you're going to experience a wonderful day. That just starts a different chemical reaction in your brain and allows you to feel the inspirations of you. I want to thank you, and I want to say good night. We'll see you Thursday night. And please enjoy your day.